First at noon, live pinpoint weather team coverage of flooding caused by heavy rain. Now check this out. This was the scene on Fletcher Avenue in Cranston. Flooding at the school bus depot here forced the city to cancel school this morning. Now while you slept, Cranston police also responded to Wilbur Avenue near Oaklawn, where a couple of drivers were trapped in floodwaters. And in Johnston, water also flooded parts of Atwood Avenue overnight. Meteorologist Michelle Muscatello is tracking the rain from the live pinpoint Doppler 12 forecast center. But we begin with Eyewitness News reporter Julie Rudinsky, who's live in Cranston with the very latest.
Well, Cranston East here, along with schools across the city, shut down today. The superintendent tells Eyewitness News they had no flood warning, so when officials showed up at the bus depot, they got quite a shock. School buses wheel deep, stuck in a massive puddle. This resident, not surprised. Anthony Singh says when it rains, it pours into Fletcher Avenue.
The school bus couldn't get out this morning from Cranston, and the potato company is all flooded out. So this has been going on. Every time it rains, we have this problem.
The Cranston School District made the call to cancel school around 6:30 this morning after a failed attempt to get about a dozen buses up and running in time. Mayor, Fletcher Avenue is a known flood zone. Who makes the decision to park school buses in that location?
That's strictly within the school department's realm, so you'd have to ask the superintendent as to those decisions on the school side.
Mayor Alan Fung says the city has secured some funding to prevent these flash floods from happening, although it won't be a quick fix.
It's going to be a multi-year, multi-million-dollar project. So we're just at that phase where we're securing the funding for the design part. So it's going to take some time.
And school will be back open tomorrow. As for Fletcher Avenue, a portion of that road remains closed at this hour. Live with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom, Julie Rudinsky, Eyewitness News.
Fortunately, the heavy rain has moved out of our area. Live look over Providence now, where skies are still gray. Meteorologist Michelle Muscatello has much more on how much rain fell overnight and what we can expect today from the live pinpoint Doppler 12 forecast center.
Well, Mike, some pretty impressive rainfall amounts we picked up in most areas between 2 and 4 inches, but a few spots like Coventry, almost 4.5 inches of rain reported. Pawtucket, about 3 3/4 of an inch. Woonsocket closing in on 4 inches. North Foster, this was as of late last night, almost 3 inches of rain. And TF Green setting a record there yesterday for 2 3/4 inches of rainfall. Westerly, 2.34 inches. Now the heavy rain has moved on. The steady rain has moved on out of Rhode Island. We're still seeing some sprinkles and some steadier and at times more moderate rain falling across eastern Massachusetts. That's slowly going to continue to slide eastward through the rest of the day. So any rainfall totals today in the afternoon will be very light, more just sprinkles and occasional mist, but it will stay cloudy. The Patuxent River still in a minor flood. In fact, the latest report that I have in is as of 11 o'clock, and that was at 9.7 feet. So about a half a foot above flood stage with minor flooding continuing to occur this morning and now into at least the first few hours of the afternoon. We're talking about some flooded parking lots and some minor flooding on streets, but certainly nothing like what we saw last spring. I'll talk about whether there's any more rain in store for us in just a few minutes.